Over the years, we've received many Call of Duty games such as World at War, Black Ops, Black Ops 2, and soon Black Ops 3 this November. But one thing that's always been very good and fun about this franchise is the Zombies mode. The Zombies mode is probably one thing that you can maybe say, I'd quite like to play Call of Duty again. So, since this is the first episode of my top 10 series, I thought I might as well go over my 10 favourite zombie maps of all time. Just for a disclaimer though, I have not played Die Rise, I have not played Alcatraz, and I've not played Buried as well. So, just for the record, I have not played those maps, but every other one I have. So anyway, here is my top 10 Call of Duty zombie maps starting right now. Number 10, we have the map 5. Now, to most zombie fans, this may seem a little bit of an odd choice, but I shall explain. The reason I've put this on the list is because I actually do like the layout of the map. I think it's quite a nice design with the 3 floors and the teleport systems. I do like the fact that you can play as historically accurate characters such as JFK and Richard Nixon. And I like that it's kind of set also in the Cold War era. So, yeah, I do like this map. Quite a few people don't like 5, but I'm probably one of the few that actually do like this map. Kino Der Toten. Now this map is quite special for me on this list because it was the first zombie map I ever played in the franchise. That was, of course, because I first got Black Ops before I got World at War. So this map is also important to me because it's the map that I've managed to get furthest on more times than any other map I've ever played. Of course, it also features the ray gun. Also features the classic characters of Nikolai, Dempsey, Takeo, and Richthofen. So that's another thing there. Also has quite a few Easter eggs as well, and of course the song. But I'm gonna do the songs at a later date, I think. Origins. Now this was the last map to be released for Black Ops 2, and it's actually the only DLC map that I've managed to be able to play. And I can tell you, it is definitely a lot of fun. First off, you got the 4 classic characters in their youth in 1918. You've got the Easter eggs such as the wonders, the magic staffs in the form of fire, ice, wind, and lightning. I think is the 4th one. And yeah, you got the trenches, so it feels like you're actually in the war in Germany in the First World War. But of course, the biggest thing about this map is the giant robots and the robot tanks. Yes, I said robot tanks. Basically, there's this drivable tank. So yeah, and of course, there's the kind of a juggernaut zombie, but he kind of isn't. But yeah, definitely, it isn't an easy map. This I will admit. But it is definitely a unique one to play. Town. Now, I will admit this one is probably the most controversial map on this list. For the main reason, it's part transit, which arguably is one of the worst zombie maps out there. But I shall make an exception here because Town is actually on its own in a survival mode. Is a really fun map to play. The thing about Town is that basically you're just like circling around buildings with the lava pit directly in the middle, and yes, it is a new set of characters, but this doesn't actually matter too much because in town you're more focused about just plain surviving rather than the story. Like I said, I do like the layout of town, and one thing that this map does have is the fact you can double pack a punch, so you can pack a punch after pack a punch after pack a punch, upgrade your weapon. And of course, it has Richthofen controlling the zombies, hence the blue eyes. Coming in at number 6, we have one of the all-time classic zombie maps, Verrückt. Now this was only the second zombie map ever released, and it was the first to have a proper Easter egg song as well. This was set in the heartland of Germany in the Second World War. Of course, this is the first map that features all 4 of the classic characters, because Dempsey was the only other one that was like properly featured before this. It's a good layout, I think. It's easy to get trained of zombies, and it's another one of the maps that I've managed to get high survival rates on. Nuketown Zombies. Now this of course is a zombie map that's based on one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Call of Duty multiplayer maps ever made, Nuketown. I think precisely this is based on the original from Black Ops, because it's set after the nuclear explosion, hence the crater in the background. Also, this map is a little bit more tricky than some of the other maps because the perks don't actually spawn automatically in this map. They actually fall from the sky like meteors from the. I believe they come from the crater every couple of rounds. So yeah, it's not too easy of a map, but it definitely is a really fun one, and it's quite a nostalgic one as well. Shangri-La. Now, for me, this is without a doubt the best looking zombie map there is. I don't think I've ever played another map like Shangri-La. It has definitely a lot of unique features. First of all, the wonder gun in this is I believe it's the shrink ray, which is definitely a very fun weapon to use. You got the combination of the screaming zombie and the fire zombie, so that creates an element of mystery about which one will spawn next. You've got the way the map is designed with the water jets and water slides, so that definitely makes it a very fun element as well. And yeah, this is of course features the original cast, and it's in the timeline technically one of the first, because in following all the Easter eggs, Shangri-La is the first or second map technically in the timeline. I think it's second after Origins. Rounding up my number 3 spot on this list, we have Derice. Now, Derice is where in the zombie timeline it all started, with Richthofen and Dr. Maxis working on patients using element 115. This map is the second to feature the teleport system, but it's probably the map that uses it best out of any of the franchise. Set, of course, in World War II in Nazi Germany. It's definitely, this is the first map with the dogs as well, relating to Samantha's dog that was also experimented on in the tapes, which are scattered all over the place. It's also got quite a fun layout as well, and it's got quite a few Easter eggs. So yeah, definitely a good number 3 spot, I think, in my maps. Call of the Dead. Now, Call of the Dead is definitely number 2 on this list for a couple of reasons. Firstly, even though it doesn't have the main cast, the guest cast is definitely a good selection, including Danny Trejo, Michael Rooker, and of course then you've got George Romero, and actually you do technically have the original cast. There is a Easter egg in the game which you can set them free, which they're stuck in a little vault. Anyway, going back to the gameplay, yeah, I do like the idea of George Romero constantly chasing you. That's something different, I guess. Also, I like the way that the environment changes, and of course, the zip wires. The zip wires are definitely a very fun mechanic to use in this. So yeah, I'd say this is definitely my second favourite map, but it's not my favourite map. And the map that takes first place on this list was the first DLC zombie map to be released for Black Ops 1, and that map is of course Ascension. Now this map is set in the Cold War, and it features the original cast, which, let's be honest, you can't really beat in zombie terms. This map also features a lot of Easter eggs, including the zombie song, but I'm gonna be covering that another date. It features launching a rocket in order to get access to the Pack-a-Punch, and of course you've got the minifigures of the main characters to find. One of the game mechanics in this, of course, is the zombie monkeys. This you have to really think about where you position yourself on the map, because if you get caught in the zombie round and you're in the monkey round and you're very far away from your perks, then that's going to be a problem. What I normally tend to do is, if there's a zombie round, I try and base myself near Juggernaut and quick revive. So yeah, while this map doesn't have a main boss like the robot in Origins or the fire zombie in Shangri-La, I still think it's a very fun map to play, and of course the lander craft is also a very fun way to get around this map. So anyway, there was number 1 on my top 10 Call of Duty zombie maps list. If you enjoyed this video, then just know that I shall be uploading another episode of my top 10 series, aka Culture Blast, up on my channel next month in August. I'm not sure when though, but it'll definitely be one of the Wednesdays in August. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. So please stay tuned for more Culture Blast, and I will see you soon. Goodbye, YouTube.